Thanks for joining. We are going to start our SD-WAN 15 hours training program or 15 days training program. Here you can see day up to day 16. Maybe it will go to 15, 16 or 17 days because in this training we have some labs as well. Sometimes these labs they are taking some time. Okay. Uh, what is the purpose of this training? This training purpose will be first of all your CCNP program. So suppose if you are preparing for your CCNP, then you know that in CCNP we have to pass two exams. One core paper, CCNP core, that is N core, enterprise core, that is mandatory for all the for the CCNP all certification. Like in CCNP also we have different streams: CCNP enterprise, CCNP wireless, CCNP design, etc. So if you go and check their certification track, you will find that we have to pass first of all N core exam, CCNP N core, and then only we can go and have electives related to other paper like CCNP design, CCNP wireless, CCNP advanced routing, and CCNP SD-WAN. So if someone wants to get his CCNP in SD-WAN, he has to pass N core, and then there is one other paper related to CCNP SD-WAN. Okay, any doubt in this?
No, we're good.
Okay, so that is one of the purpose. Other purpose for this SD-WAN exam, SD-WAN knowledge is this, that this will help you for your CCI exam as well. Suppose if someone is preparing for CCI enterprise, then there are section 1, 2, 3, etc. In few of the sections in exam, they are asking about SD-WAN related questions such as the template. You can see these sections like day 5, day 6, such as the policies, TLOC, policies, some other features and all. So this will going to help in CCI exam as well. The third benefit of this, that in your profile, you can mention that you know one of the SDN framework. In this case, we have SD-WAN. So you know SD-WAN. This will be just the beginning of new, you can think as a new job role where someone is managing SD-WAN as well. Now this SD-WAN program that we have, this is related to Cisco SD-WAN. But now if you go and see in the market, you will find that there are different type of vendors. Nowadays, almost all companies, like all vendors, they have their own flavor of SD-WAN. SD-WAN do not have some standardized RFC and all. This is something that all the vendors, they have their own custom-made WAN solution. For example, in Cisco, we have Cisco Viptela SD-WAN. Juniper, they have some Juniper Cloud SD-WAN. The Palo Alto, they have some Palo Alto SD-WAN. The VMware, they have VMware Velo Cloud SD-WAN, then Versa SD-WAN, then Silver Peak. Like list is long, but the way they are operating, there are obviously some differences in them, but the way they are operating is almost the same. You can say they're same, but again, later on, you have to go and categorize their SD-WAN in different flavors. So some SD-WAN is suited to cloud environment. Some SD-WAN, for example, Cisco SD-WAN is suited to enterprise network because it has security features, it has high availability features, it has scalability features, it has very mature routing capabilities. Okay, so it is very much suitable for enterprise network, but others are also there, like Versa is also there that people are using in enterprise. Velo Cloud is also there. VMware Velo Cloud is also there that people are using in enterprise and cloud as well. Okay, so we are going to focus on our Cisco SD-WAN program. Uh, you are with me? Any doubts so
Good.
far? It's good, right?
No doubts.
Okay, great. So here you can see our program agenda. Day 1, we are going to discuss just about the program, and day 2 will be the SD-WAN concepts and the components. So I'm going to stick with whatever things you can see here. So day 3, doubt clearing session, and then the vManage dashboard. Day 4, this. Like I'm going to follow this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to day 16. The same agenda I'm going to follow. I'm very much sticking with this. Now, how we can go and access the resources, how we can go and perform the lab. So let's come to that point. I have one website, giganetworkers.in. If you go to this particular website, on top you have this document center. If you go to document center, you can see this. This is the document list. If you go there, then here I have added some coding examples, some DNA, DNAC document and SD-WAN document. If you go to SD-WAN document, then you will get all these document I have shared globally. Now in this document, um, even you can see this 300,415. This is related to your CCNP exam, CCNP SD-WAN exam. So if you want to focus, you can go and focus on PPT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This 1 up to 6 is more than sufficient to whatever I'm going to follow in this exam. Apart from that, these are the slides. You can see ABC 1, 2, 3, etc. API call, some lab guide, and little bit of these slides are advanced as well. Like for example, SD-WAN API calls, etc. So I have my separate training program where I am covering only automation, SD-WAN automation, SD-WAN programming. That is, I think, 10 to 15-hour training that I'm covering only for automation thing. So that's why you can say this. Apart from that, most of the things I am going to cover, I'm not going to cover this part as well. SD-WAN security. Security and automation, I'm not going to cover in this class. But any case, if you are interested, these recorded sessions are there in my YouTube channel that you can go and watch. API related and security related, but I will tell you that do not watch it now. Once we complete our 15, 16-hour training program, after that, you can go and check these things. For API, you should have some Python background. This automation thing, you should have some Python background. So you will understand the things in that. For SD-WAN security, you should know some next generation firewall like FTD or Palo Alto, etc. So this will become easy to understand, because there is nothing that you can say that related to SD-WAN, features and capability. What is happening that Cisco having their ISR or CSR routers, where we nowadays we have concept of container, where you can go and install some virtual images related to security patches and all, and that router can work as a firewall. But once you go and install those packages are very much similar to next generation, any type of next generation firewall. So whatever capabilities that we have in next generation firewalls, like URL filtering, like malware protection, like uh, creating security policies, access group objects, etc., etc. Those things will get enabled, right, in that router. So point here is this, that again, that is not very much SD-WAN. That is something like CCNP security or something like security course or something, So if someone knows security, for him, it's very easy to follow this SD-WAN security. Okay, so this is the document link I already emailed, and even I put in the chat, WhatsApp chat as well, these links. Okay. Apart from that, whatever our what about our class training? So the slide that I'm sharing here, you can see this slide. I'm going to add more and more slides here in upcoming days as day progresses, and I will improve this quality of the slides as well. I will show you how to work on these slides as well. Okay, so this is the slide I'm going to cover in day one. Only this slide I'm going to cover today. Okay, but this link also I have added there in the chat window. You can check that. So far, you have any question?
Nope.
Good. Okay. Okay. All right. So what about the third piece, the lab? How you can do the lab? So for lab, I'm going to share you the cloud hosted lab, right? And that cloud hosted lab, uh, what you need? What is the prerequisite for that lab? Obviously, you need some internet connectivity in your laptop. Everyone has that. And then you need one small Cisco AnyConnect software in your laptop that you want to connect, and then only you can go and access this lab. Cisco AnyConnect, maybe you have
Cisco
that.
Secure Client.
Cisco Secure guy,
You know how the marketing is. You got to change the name now.
yeah. Yeah. So someone was taking some Cisco live, and um, so one guy, he asked him that why you are keep changing the names and all every time. So he responded that we are changing the name and we are making everyone to keep guessing what will be the
Seems that way.
name. So keep guessing that Cisco SD-WAN, earlier it was Cisco Viptela, then it becomes Cisco SD-WAN, and then now this is something Catalyst Center or something, we'll check that. So again, the Cisco SD-WAN name is, again, it is renamed to some other Catalyst Center SD-WAN, something like that. Okay, so we can guess it. That's why they are keep changing the names. Okay, so this lab now, what I need to do for this lab access, that I need to book and share this lab. So what I will do, that I will book the lab, and over the email I will share this. Even in WhatsApp chat also I will put that your name, name initials, and lab detail. So let me quickly see if I have any lab ready, so I can show you that how you can log into the lab. Later on, we'll go and work on that lab.
This is dCloud, right? You're referring to?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
dCloud lab, I will book and share with you. And if you want to practice from your side, so Cisco sandboxes are there, but it's not required. Anyways, I'm going to book and share with you, so you don't need to check on that part. Let me quickly see. Before this class, I was booking some lab. Let me see if it is started. I was booking some lab in dCloud, and then suddenly I see one new lab related to Cisco Secure Connect, and I start checking that. So some cool features are there in that Cisco Secure Connect, etc. Okay, let me see that lab is ready or not. So now you can see that where you will get the documents, right? So meanwhile, I'm checking the lab is ready or not. Maybe it will take some 15-20 minutes to check that. Let me quickly go and open one of the PPT, so you can see uh, enterprise certification. Oh, this is good actually, because in this slide, what I have added is the new certification blueprint. They are these earlier old days, how it will be for all CCNA. You know that for all CCNA, even before CCNA, we have CCENT or something, right? So entry level, associate level, professional, and expert earlier. Then Cisco has changed that, and now you have only one CCNA, right? You can see that you have only one CCNA, and then after that you can go for these CCNP: enterprise, provider, data center, collaboration, and security. Do we have more here? Yes. Then there is other certification track. You know that CCNA DevNet and CCNP DevNet. CCNA DevNet and CCNP DevNet is also something that you should do in coming future, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, or it's up to you. Like, you should check the automation piece as well. And for that also we have CCI DevNet. So presently I'm preparing for CCI DevNet. I think from last 1 year and so more than that, I'm preparing for that, and it will take 1 more year. But learning new things in automation and all those things. Even I have Udemy courses as well related to CCNA and CCNP DevNet. Anyways, so CCNA, you can see that you have CCNA, and then you can move to CCNP Enterprise. So let me go to the CCNP Enterprise. I think I have slide for that as well. This is track related to your CCI exam. Let's skip this. Yeah, here you can see. So CCNP, professional level certification, right? This professional level certification, you have to do one paper, that is core exam, that is N core. Uh, you can see that I should have that paper core as well. Enterprise core. You should do this enterprise core, and this enterprise core, that is prerequisite for your CCI exam as well, right? This enterprise core you have to do, and then you can see the electives. So in CCNP, again, you have category, like you want to do advanced routing CCNP or design wireless CCNP or implement wireless network. Like after N core, out of these six, you can do any of this. Our track will be like this. This is very important track of CCNP. In CCNP and then SD-WAN. This track, this paper and this paper. Okay. Any doubt in this slide? It's okay, right? I have this option, nice option as well, slideshow.
Yes, I understand.
Oops. Same, it got stuck. Okay, slideshow option is also there in that. Okay, Ferdinand, you have any question so far?
No, I'm good so far. The only thing you said that the track for CCMP and SD-WAN are important. I guess that's going forward, right? So routing services, advanced routing, is that important too, or not as important in SD-WAN?
This is also important. It depends upon job role. So, for example, if someone is dealing with all the routing features and capability, then he can go and choose this track. What is happening now is that most of the companies, they are using SD-WAN. So in that case, this track will be important for those candidates. But in case if someone has still they are not using SD-WAN and they are in the wide area network, so they can go and choose this track.
I guess the routing in SD-WAN is rolled up into it or something, like those features are part of SD-WAN. It's more for data center, I guess.
This is not. This is still we are still in enterprise. This is not data
Right.
center. Data center track itself is different. That is
Okay.
CCI, CCNP and CCNP data center, and then their track like in
Okay.
ACI, and there's Nexus switches and all those things. So this is very different. Data
Okay.
center network is very different. This is very much enterprise network, but in enterprise you have WAN and then you have SD-WAN. So if you're dealing with normal wide area network, then this will be good option. And if someone is dealing with SD-WAN, this will be good option. But anyways, if someone is doing N core,
Yeah, I mean, there's still a traditional routing exam that does just on BGP, OSPF, Edge, ARP. There's a separate elective for that as well.
Yeah. But if someone will do N-core, then all routing things are covered in this exam, the N-core exam. Everything is there. Here,
Makes sense.
little bit more advanced features related to BGP, related to ISIS, related to OSPF, IPv6, etc., etc. So this is more than sufficient for routing, N-core.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. All right. So continuing in this slide, again, you can see that enterprise core, that is mandatory. And then you can choose one out of this, routing, SD-WAN, and design, and etc. Right? Let me go back to that. So earlier it was like this, now it is like this. So Cisco has simplified their certification track. These things, leave it. So what I have done that I have created such type of slides, like, copied from, I think, somewhere from Cisco slides only, just to make sure that people understand what is new certification track. Now it is also old certification track, but align with the simplicity of the certification. So this one slide, this one is interesting, where it is telling you everything. So CCNA, choose one CCNP and do one CCI, like that. Or CCNA and do multiple CCNPs. Multiple CCNPs means you have knowledge about different networking areas, right? So if someone will do CCNP service provider, obviously service provider, they are dealing with routing and BGP and MP-BGP and those things, right? But this is not 100% routing, because if you are checking 100% routing, then it will be N-core and advanced routing. These papers, like, this and this. This will be very much routing. The old routings exam that Cisco has earlier is like that. So once you complete these basic slides, then our training agenda will start. Already I told you that I'm going to cover, this is related to CCNP SD-WAN architecture and component training, right? So we'll not go there. Then our training agenda will start, and I told you that I'm going to follow our slide for training purpose. So far you're with me, right? And
Yep.
and I'm going to cover only one slide today. This slide, only this slide. You can see that the font is not that, like, it's bigger. So let me quickly show you this. This mm, tool that I'm using, Excalibur tool, this tool is not only good for, like, learning purpose, but it is good for designing purpose as well. So whenever I have to go and design my network, I am designing over this tool only. This is very helpful tool, and it has so many different plugins as well. Let me increase the font size here. What I will do here, that I can go here and I can reduce the width. Now this is okay. Okay, let me increase this side. So day one, we are going to discuss about different type of SD-WAN. You can see in this slide that SD-WAN. Oh, Jesus is joining. Let me allow him. So I mentioned earlier that this is the only slide we are going to discuss today. And in this slide, there are multiple pieces. First of all, we can go and check different type of SD-WAN vendors. So yes, Cisco is not only one in this. There are multiple vendors. And if I have that vendor list that I can show you, I think it is not here in this slide. Anyways, let's go back to this document. I told you that you can go to Giga Networkers. That is my website, a small website for training purposes. You can go to Document Center, and then you can go to this doc. And let me open this first link. What are the uses and usefulness of SD-WAN that is there just for your reference purpose? Okay. So here you can see that different type of SD-WAN vendors, although the slide is not that clean, but you can check the names like VeloCloud, Viptola, Versa, Silver Peak, etc., etc. The only important thing I want to highlight here is this, that in this list, you will see here what type of SD-WAN solution they are offering. So VeloCloud is cloud delivered, Viptela is enterprise network based, Versa is Versa cloud delivered, Silver Peak. You know, you can see that few of the SD-WAN, they are good for cloud delivery model, few are good for the enterprise, few are good for security. Like that, there are category. So different players are there. They are coming with different goals. Right. After that, what I have done in these slides, that I have further categorized Cisco SD-WAN. And in this Cisco SD-WAN category, you will see that Cisco, when they started, so you know what happened, the small story is there, that all these companies, they have started their SD-WAN, but Cisco haven't started their SD-WAN. They introduced something called IWAN, Intelligent WAN. They come with a product called Intelligent WAN that is very much like customizing the WAN and rebranding the WAN, but it was not SD-WAN. And then what happened, that Cisco was lacking in the market. Cisco was lacking badly in the market. And then, out of pressure, they have acquired a company called VeloCloud. Because SD-WAN is something that can do multiple things. You can manage things, you can manage operations, you can integrate with automations. There are so many nice features in SD-WAN product that was not achieved by this IWAN. Even IWAN, Intelligent WAN, was trying to do those things, but it was manual. It was not that automated that we have in SD-WAN, right? And that's why Cisco has to shift their WAN also to SD-WAN. Okay. So now this slide, you can see this is busy slide, but comparing Cisco, because someone from Cisco has created this slide. So you will see here all nice things about Cisco only. Up to here, it's Cisco. In Cisco, we have Cisco IWAN. Then in Cisco, we have vEdge. Then we have CH, Cisco Edge. Then in Cisco, we have enterprise network compute systems, like this is virtualized type of SD-WAN environment. And then it is comparing with VMware Velo Cloud and Silver Peak. Now both are very good. So once SD-WAN was introduced in the market, for first few years, like maybe 3 to 4 years, Silver Peak was number one SD-WAN in the market, right? Silver Peak, because Silver Peak is a company which is dealing with WAN optimizers. And different companies still they are using Silver Peak WAN optimizer algorithm in their product. So that's why you will see here, if you go and check further list, you will see that these SD-WAN devices, they are supporting applications. They are application-centric devices, right? And Silver Peak devices are supporting more than maybe 10,000 applications. Rather, this Cisco or Velo Cloud, they are supporting maybe 4,000 or 3,000 applications, right? So in terms of application support, this is way ahead than the VMware and Cisco. But again, Cisco will come with some other strategy, like we have the firewall capability, we have the routing maturity, we have the Ethernet interfaces and all those things, like, which is here. You will see no, 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 no here. All yes here, all no here, right? So, like, comparing. So when Cisco sells, they will go to the market. They will tell, look, see, my product having these many feature supports. The other vendors, they are not supporting that. But it's not true actually, because Velo Cloud can be integrated with Palo Altos or any third party, third party nice product vendors. Cisco can do no, because they have everything their own customized and all. So if some product have, open API or open interfaces, then only they can go and integrate with some third party uh, firewalls or some third party load balancer or WAN optimizers and etc. Okay? But still, Cisco is trending in market. It may be number one or number two in the market, or maybe number three in the market, but the SD-WAN business is huge. It's a big market now. Okay. Any doubt in this? Clear?
Where does Juniper sit in the SD-WAN, if you don't mind me asking?
They just started, in terms of they started back, but their operation is uh, cloud operations in SD-WAN, and their footprint is very low if you compare to Cisco, like 95 and 5%. That will be the ratio. So it has very less impact. It has even very less number of customer, Juniper. If they will watch my video, they may send me emails that see, this is the list of my companies that we are supporting. But I know behind the scene also that they have very less number of customers, because their product is like this. They want to innovate. So what happened that Juniper also started late. They also acquire some company. I don't know what is that company name, but they are they are coming with some new vision. They are telling that, oh, we will not go like Cisco or Versa or like this. Our product will be very unique and cloud based. And since it is cloud based, so their blueprint is less. I don't think so. They are in the enterprise SD-WAN market, Juniper. Even you can do some Google and research. So Juniper, you can see cloud CPE with SD-WAN, customer provider HCP. Their operation is very different in SD-WAN. But yeah, Juniper has their very good ISP MX or some series routers, right? And they are very good. Even Juniper has very good firewall, but nowadays all firewalls, Palo Alto, they took the business from all the firewalls. So you know that Checkpoint and Juniper and Cisco. So Palo Altos, they are trending like anything. Okay. So they are not very, very much good in the SD-WAN market, Juniper. All right, what is SDN? SDN is software-defined networking, and then we have Cisco SD-WAN. Let me go back to my slide and let me go here. I'll explain you one very important thing about this SDN, software-defined networking, and I don't want to overcomplicate this thing. You know that routers are there. What routers are doing? Routers are there to do routing, right? So suppose I have one router. Let me use some more routers. I have one network where routers are connected. Suppose my connection, routers are connected. Now, what is happening? That these routers, they have all three different type of plane. Routers, they are never the destination, right? So some source will be there and some destination will be there. And what routers they are doing? They are providing the path, right? So source, how it will reach to destination, router will provide the path. You have to go like this. If it is very complicated network, you may have hundreds of router in between. But if you go and zoom into this router itself have three different type of plane. So this router has something called control plane, data plane, and management plane. What's the use of control plane? I'm not talking about this SD-WAN routers and all, normal router or switches. What's the use of control plane?
It does all the routing.
All the routing decision and more general protocol related decisions. So all protocols related decision that control plane will take. So if I'm running EIGRP, OSP, BGP, or in case of switches, STP, CDP, these things will get exchanged in the control plane, right? So we should protect control plane, because if something will happen with control plane, that means that behavior will go. And control plane, they are directly associated with the CPU and memory. So even if you have some routing issues, first of all, you are going and checking the routers, the CPU and memory utilization. Because whenever routers, they have to build the new routing table, they directly or indirectly, they are impacting the CPU processing, CPU cycles, because they have to learn new thing. Okay. So you know that what is control plane in normal router. Then what is this data plane?
So the
In the
data traffic
traffic,
transfer.
traffic. So routers, they are creating best path, that is the routing table. But to send the traffic is always sent to next hop, who is my adjacent, right? And traffic is always forwarded with some MAC addresses, like no local address. So if I have to go from one hop to other hop, one router to other router, I will go with MAC address. If I have to reach to destination or second or third or fourth hop, then I will use the IP address. That's the concept. Like, local communication and global communication. Local communication is always next hop. That is by some fib table like IP to MAC table, something like that. Some table entries are there in routers. And the global communication is like what is your fixed source, what is your fixed destination, right? So that is your data plane where actual data will move. What is management plane?
SNMP and all the other stuff it handles.
Okay. And like if you can define little bit in one or two line.
Um, if I can remember, I think it has to do with like SSH into accessing the devices, and I can't remember off the top of my head, tell you the truth, but I know it has to do with, accessing the devices and
Yeah.
managing services.
Yeah. Yeah. So management plane means that that router itself you want to manage, right? Means if you want to log in via telnet or SSH, or if you want to get some notification via SNMP trap, others, right? So that management plane will come into picture. Okay, so far? Any doubt in this concept? You already know this thing, right?
No doubt.
Now let's come to SDN technology, software defined networking topology concept. What this concept is telling, that decoupling of control plane, data plane. So at the moment, my control plane and data plane, let's leave this management plane for the timing. At the moment, my control plane and data plane, they are sitting together in all these routers. So I have my control plane and data plane here. All the routers, even management plane also, I have removed that just for sake of a space. So all my data plane, control plane, they are in the router. Now what I want, that I want to move. So I don't want the data plane. I want to take all these control plane from the router and move it to one place. So control, basically control in our field is nothing but routing decisions. So what I want now, that I want to take the routing decision separately, and these routers, they will do only data forwarding. So that is nothing but decoupling of control plane and data plane. So that means that the control plane is sitting somewhere, but obviously these routers, they need some data decision. Like, what I'm telling, that these routers, once they want to forward the data, they need some programming that how I can send data to next hop. That information will be programmed from where? That information will be programmed from the control plane, which is centrally located somewhere. Now, if we do this thing, what will be the benefit?
It's much easier to manage. You have a central place to control, I guess, the routing and the forwarding of traffic, I would assume.
Yes, 100% right. This thing we will discuss more in our SD-WAN architecture class, maybe tomorrow. That yes, this will simplify the routing. And now what we are doing in SD-WAN, not only the routing push, like we are pushing the routing tables and all to the devices, not only the routing push, but the policy also we are centralizing to control plane. So all policy decision, right? Policy decision related to routing and policy decision related to other SD-WAN features like application aware routing policy or some other policies like data policy, that can also be centralized to one place. So in that case, managing the entire infrastructure will be easier. The other important thing here is this, that suppose if your control and data plane, they are in the same router. If something will happen with that router, that means your network will break. Here, you are centralizing and managing things here from one central location. So even if something will happen to the local devices also, there is no impact because then you can reroute from your central location. So dependency to the local devices will be less. Okay, management will be easy. So not only this control plane is there, but we have management plane as well in our Cisco SD-WAN. So let me go and quickly. So control plane and management plane. Later on, you will see that what are the names. We have names for that plane. Should use that other. The VSmart is there, which is doing the control mechanism. in SD-WAN, and vManage is there, which is doing the management thing in this. Okay. So why we are using SDN? We are decoupling the control and data plane, and decouple means like this type of arrangement. From some central location, you will go and send the information. Okay, so far?
Yep.
Okay, great. Now here you will see that I have added one Cisco long-term vision in this slide. You will see that now if you check this particular diagram, branch 1, branch 2, and one data center. So I have one data center, and then I have branch 1 and branch 2, right? Now these branches and data center, how they will get connected? With routers. In our case, what type of routers? They are SD-WAN routers. So that's why I have mentioned here SD-WAN backbone. Let me further simplify this diagram. Later on, I'll go and draw. So suppose this is my architecture diagram with some branches and data center. You're able to understand this diagram? Any doubt in this?
So
Now, if you see this, I have added Cisco long-term vision because these branches are maybe SDA branches, software defined access branch. That's the term here. So now we are talking about, SDN, software defined network. Software defined network can be in LAN network, local area network. It can be in the WAN network, wide area network, and it can be in data center. So in that sense only you have pure SDN, right? So end-to-end software-defined networking. If it is not there in all the locations, like in the branches, in the WAN, in the data center, then this will not become pure SDN network. So that's why I have mentioned here Cisco long-term vision. Cisco long-term vision here is this, that you should have SDN everywhere. SDN everywhere means not only the branches, but the data center. That's why I have mentioned here, you can see ACIDC, Application Centric Infra Data Center, right? Then SD-WAN backbone. This is also SDN. So this is SD-WAN. This is ACI based data center. This is SDN based data center. And this is SDA based LAN. This is the Cisco long-term vision. And further, Cisco long-term vision is this, that if your traffic is coming from one branch and they want to reach to some data center, then the routing that we want to create for the entire infrastructure, for entire IT infrastructure, that should be one, right? At the moment, if you see your network, you see for local area network, you have different routing table to manage. For WAN, you have different routing table to manage. For data center, you have different routing table to manage. Cisco long-term vision is to create one routing table for entire IT infrastructure, and to segregate these routing tables, they can go and use virtual network, tagging, some labeling, right? So whenever the traffic will come from user one, they have some marking and they have to go and reach to some server where you have some marking. So marking based or segment based, you can say that routing should happen. That's the long-term goal. And this type of design architecture is multi-domain architecture in Cisco, and few of companies, they have all these three.
Is that more like MPLS behavior or something?
MPLS behavior is different thing because then you have to run MP BGP protocols and all, right? But here Cisco, they are running some OMP, overlay management protocol, which is simplified BGP. So even it is not MPLS. MPLS is label switching. You have, instead of routing table, you are creating some label table. According to that, forwarding is happening. Here it's not like label based switching. Here routing is happening behind the scene, but for security we have segmentation. Okay, so this is the Cisco long-term goal, that traffic should go via some tagging, and those tagging should be tracked from Cisco ICE or identity engines, and one routing should be enough for entire infra. We don't want to create separate routing instances for separate uh, businesses, or separate IT areas, like business area within the business, like IT, HR, sales, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the class number 1, and I told you earlier that you need to access the lab after this class. I will share you the lab credentials. What you need to do, that you need to go and connect with some Cisco AnyConnect. Once you go and connect with Cisco AnyConnect, then you will get, you can see this URL here. I will send you all the URL and all. Click connect, then it will ask you about the username and the password. You can give the username and the password. Once your Cisco AnyConnect will get connected, then you can log into the devices simply from your system also. 198.168.1.10 is the vManage IP, the management plane IP. Once you connect with Cisco AnyConnect, you can simply log into the vManage dashboard. I'll share the username and password for this.
So we have to purchase Cisco AnyConnect, right? Or just go and Google it and download it on your laptop?
You don't need to purchase. You will get it. If you are not able to find that, just let me know. I have already in Google Drive. I can share that link.
Sure.
This is the dashboard. In class number 3, I will walk you through this dashboard. It's loading actually. Once it will load, it looks very good actually. You can see all the stats and everything in this dashboard. vManage, health, and site BFT and all those things. From your uh, practice purposes, like you can go and log in, and you can go and click devices, and you can go and click tunnels, security, VPN, just to get familiarized with this dashboard and all. Then you have this menu bar. You can go to menu, you can see within monitor these options, within configuration these options, tools these options, maintenance these options. You can see that entire operation gets simplified because of this concept. Otherwise, suppose if you have to uh, upgrade the image. So suppose if I'm managing 200 routers from this vManage dashboard, I can go and upgrade the images from maintenance software upgrade. I can reboot that device, right? Then tools is there. If I want to SSH certain devices, I can go and click SSH, and I want to SSH this vManage. So I can click this, and then I am able to log into this device. It will come. It's a little bit slow, but it will come. It will ask you username and password. Otherwise, you know that it's difficult. Like it's okay, but it's time consuming, that managing different type of devices and playing around with this. From vManage, it will be easy. All right, so let me stop the
So
recording.
from here, you still can get to